Hey guys, we're back again, and today's guy will be Trent Murphy, defensive end, outside linebacker, kind of like hybrid guy from Stanford. And just get some measurables on real quick, just quickly. 6'5", 250 pounds. CBS likes him in the second and third round. He ran a 4.86 at the combine, a 4.82 at the workout, and 19 reps on the bench. Again, no concerns on what numbers aren't jumping out to me as a concern. Okay, just give you a quick look at him. And today is more going to be a highlight day. Murphy, I've watched a few game tapes of his so far, and there's a lot to like, but there's a lot to dislike too. And I think part of the problem is he's sometimes very passive when he's rushing the passer. It shows an okay outside speed rush, and he lacks that really elite level inside rush that Coney Ely had. So, if you have some interest, watch his 2012 tape against Washington and Oregon. This year's Washington tape as well. You kind of get that very passive when you watch him play kind of look, but so I'm gonna stick to more of the highlights where he does well. We'll show I think one or two plays that I'm kind of iffy about, but overall this is gonna be a lot of good plays from him, and let's get into it. First game I'm gonna look at is Murphy against Michigan State. This is a neutral field, Rose Bowl. I say neutral. This is pretty much home for them, but West Coast and traveling just about 5 hours south where Michigan State's coming from the Midwest. But so, we'll see how Murphy shows up. First play I want to show is a snatch, and I almost just want to show it just so I can show everyone what a snatch is, because it's very hard sometimes to get a good look at what it is. Now here he's playing outside end, 5 technique, line up against the tackle, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And you see he kind of gets into the left tackle, and he pulls him towards him and almost gets himself a sack. We'll get a better angle. It's hard to see from there, but they give you the overhead cam, the end zone. Now we see his technique on the outside. Tackle leaning in a little bit. You kind of have this where he's filling, kind of weird spacing on the offensive line. And if you've noticed, the left tackle never really gets his weight under him. He's off balance and not in a great position. This is a perfect time to snatch. And what that is once you catch an offensive tackle without weight underneath him, has a well-balanced grounding to himself, you can take him off balance by dragging him forward. See that right there where he pulls forward, and look where the tackle is. Out of the play completely. If the quarterback does not react 100% correctly, you have yourself a sack. Quarterback steps up in the pocket, but the thing is this is something you do to make your other moves better. We always hear the thing of the cliche that, well, it's not checkers, it's chess. It kind of is sometimes. You have to be able to use certain things and make the left tackle think like, oh, well, he snatched me last time, so let me set up for that and get my well balance. And then you rush underneath him because he's setting up outside, and you get a sack by going on inside rush. Be just showing multiple moves, showing that you can do multiple things. That was a problem with when I watched like Aaron Donald play. That I didn't see all that, and here you actually get to see him do something that I haven't really seen too many other guys do. Now, he doesn't get the sack there, but he creates pressure and, forces guy out of the pocket. And sometimes, that could lead to huge interceptions and such. That's a good thing. Definitely a good thing. Moving a little bit ahead. And this is, not this play. Went a little too short there. But next play here. This is, I always hate this right here. I hate the spin bailout. You're getting beat, and what you do is you try and spin, and that stuff always kind of bothers me. I think it actually happens a little before here too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. No, he gets underneath. But just I played before at 6-41. I just, I hate you're losing the fight, you're losing the battle, and you go for that spin move. It just, to me, it's just go for inside rush, try and take him inside. If you want to go for a spin, you have to have set it up. It has to be like rushing outside, keeping your feet going outside, and then slam your right foot down and spin inside, or slam your left foot down and spin inside. You're planting and spinning. When you just kind of do this desperation thing, I hate seeing it because nothing gets done. But I think I have another one. That'll end the concerns part of this. Like, I didn't want to do too much of the low lights because Murphy does have some plays that are questionable. He goes for a spin move here, but he just goes for it immediately. He doesn't really set it up. Typically when you want a spin move, you want to get that strong outside rush so he commits to the outside and then plant and spin. And he just kind of goes for the spin, kind of like the kids say, YOLOing it. It doesn't work that way because a good left tackle just keeps his hands on your hips, and the spin move does nothing. And you see here, it doesn't really accomplish anything. And he actually spins right into potentially into a running back. So I hate that desperation spin stuff. I want to see you fighting with your hands, keep going with the outside rush, can keep it contained. Or if you're going to go for that spin move, you set it up. You go for a speed rush and then plant your foot, spin inside, because that left tackle set for a speed rush and you're going flying by him. That's the only time I really don't okay with it. I hate spinning, though. I really do. One guy's done it well in the past 10 years. His name is Dwight Freeney. And now everyone else, Dwight Freeney is extremely fast. I don't know if there's been a defensive end as fast as him. So, you have to have that type of speed to do that. We're going to jump over to the USD game on the road. And I always like watching road games with guys, especially defensive players. Offensive players, with the loud noise. But I like to see defensive players when everything's quiet and you have to go against the guy. I have concerns in this game too. And it's mostly USC. This is against the tight end, so take that for what it is. But it's a great inside move. Stutters to the outside, plants his right foot, gets over, gets his hands off of him, and swims over. Man, it's a solid inside move. It's not Coney Ely, but you know what? He shows it. So we've seen a snatch, an outside rush into a spin move, and now we've seen an outside rush into an inside swim. Okay, so we have a plethora of moves, we'll call it so far. I like seeing all that. Second play, our man's in coverage. And doesn't react well in the coverage. This is clearly his zone. He needs to come up on this guy. He needs to drill this guy when he catches the ball. He's way too... You don't drop... You are defensive end. We don't want you 15 yards, 10 yards off the ball. You're in that 5 to 7 yard range maximum. And I guess it's he's on the edge there a little bit. But, running back coming out of the backfield, that's your guy. I know it's zone, but that's your guy. You know it. Just get up on him. If he catches the ball, that's a hit right there. Fortunately, too passive. I'm not going to put that too much on him. His defensive end, I don't want him in coverage. I do like, the making a tackle here, a nice little angle. I understand how to take a good angle on a guy, but man, I just, if you're looking at him as a 3-4 outside linebacker with the potential to be a coverage guy, I think he makes one good play in coverage that I watched in the 4 or 5 games, and that was against the defensive end playing tight end at the goal line. So nothing too extraordinary in the coverage game. Now here's the next play. Why is this play important to me? Who's coming to block him? Right guard. Right guard's pulling. This is a pull and trap. Pull and trap means you're just trying to create space for this little hole. Look, everyone's covered. This is a great job by USC's offensive line. And the pull, works fairly well, except one thing. Now, we get a win here, but what does Murphy do? Typically in a poll, the offensive lineman's getting a little head of steam at you, and that's usually pretty scary. What you do as a defensive lineman to stop that, there's two ways. There's the old-fashioned way where you would take your outside arm and throw it at the guy so that you're kind of like getting underneath him. And the other one, which I like more, is you come up and you squeeze. You cut the distance between you and him. And lower your shoulder, put your shoulder, get underneath him, into his stomach. And that's what Murphy does perfectly. And what does that do? Creates a stalemate at the pole. A stalemate on a pole is a huge win for a defensive lineman. Again, the offensive lineman has a run and start at you. He should be knocking you back. Now, we get a win here, but because we have a stalemate here, you know, our defense tackle did a great job for Stanford in this play, pushing the, I guess it's either tackle or tight end. Looks like tackle. Pushing him, win his fight at the line of scrimmage. That's terrific. But this right here, the stalemate, if he gets knocked out, if he gets pulled, trapped, and pancaked, look at this. He's going to have a running lane to the outside for days. He might still be running right now. So, this is a fantastic play on a pull from a defensive end at the college level. Pulling isn't something that a lot of college teams are doing. A lot of zone blocking. USC, give them credit for trying to run it. But, you know, running back had nowhere to go, and because of that win inside, you know, we get the tackle for a loss. So 2 guys win on the play, and you get a big tackle for a loss. Okay. A couple more plays to go here. And we're seeing another style from Murphy. Just no contact, outside speed rush for a sack. See him, stand up position, just kind of real quick gets his hands off, gets the tight end's hands off of him. Again, though, against the tight end. Now, how much you want to discredit, I'm only going to do a touch. Because when he does go against the left tackle for USC, he gets shut down pretty good in this game. It's baffling to me that USC stuck with a tight end to block him for so long, because the tight end really did struggle with Murphy for a majority of the game, especially in pass protection. So, you know, I didn't get that game plan from USC, but Murphy took advantage of it, and right here, you just see that the tight end's feet are not comparable to Murphy's. It just isn't. He just never gets his weight under him. He reaches. Murphy gets the hands off him quick and takes a good angle to the quarterback, gives himself a sack. That's a matchup problem right there, though. You cannot have tight ends blocking speed rushers. And yet again, I want to say one thing, another style of rushing from Murphy. So we have pull and snatch, outside speed rush. We saw the inside swim, and we saw the attempt at the inside spin. I'll say attempt. But here we go again. Murphy, little problem again. Now, I said we had highlights. Now, he does a good job of bull rushing the running back. But what I have gone and taught, and was taught, against defensive end, or any defensive lineman, if you get matched one-on-one with the running back, there is no hesitation. It's a straight bull rush over a running back. Sometimes you can get the quick stutter, you know, and get under him. But typically, you have a huge size advantage. Just take out the running back, get through him, get to the quarterback. Murphy does that, except we get this just, why is he slowing down? I want to see him just bull this guy. Look at the size difference between the two of them. This is a no-brainer, instinctive, get over him, run over him, get to the quarterback, get a sack. It's 17-7 in the third quarter. Let's get a big play for our team. 3rd and long coming up after I get this sack. And, you know, just that stutter step, I think, cost him, because look how close he is here to the sack. He is a step away from the quarterback. He doesn't slow down and stutter. That's a sack for sure, because he beats that running back handily. And if he was running full speed, he would have been taking the running back into the quarterback for a sack. So, you know, just bull rush him, maybe the one move under, but don't stutter step, don't slow down, just get through that running back. And that's the other thing that running back can do, is cut you. But that's a little bit of concern. Maybe that's what he was concerned about, I'm thinking about right now. But if you shoot your hands, you have your hands out in front of you, I don't care. You're going to be able to keep distance between you and him. And you're going to get the sack there. You know, good technique will win against a cut. A cut is a desperate move. It's a good move, but it's still a desperate one by a running back. Keep your hands out in front, you win that easy. And we have 3rd and long. We're going to the next play. Now against tight end again. And just a little bit good motor, you know, doing this thing. And we see a little counter here. Looks like he wants to go for that outside rush, and a tight end overcommits to it. So what does Murphy do? Changes it up and just slaps the hands away. I like how he uses his hands. Not as good as Ely again, but uses his hands well. Gets that inside move, but doesn't win immediately. That's when you go for that inside move like this. When you try to counter to the inside, you pretty much have to win immediately typically, or the quarterback will just have too much time. Now, coverage was good. He's able to get a sack here. That's terrific. 2nd sack of the game. Should be 3. But it does a good job here. And I just like the fact that he's able to counter off a guy overcommitting. Just watch tight end here. Watch how much tight end commits to the outside. Look, he is just flying out there. He does not want to get beat outside, because he was beat outside on the last time he got sacked, gave up a sack. He's not letting that happen again. He knows he's got help from the running back inside. Screw it. I'm not letting you outside. Murphy does a good job of just winning. And I tell you what, that running back, that's soft. Go for the block. Don't run away from it. You're not helping your quarterback by letting the guy hit him. That's soft. That's another good job by Murphy. Did I give you another angle here? Yeah. You see, just that's soft from that running back. My God. Oh. But yeah, you see just look at the space that was created here too by him jumping. You know, typically it's hard for inside moves because there's such tight spaces between, like you're trying to do an inside move here. You know, change in direction. You're going to run into someone else. There's so much green grass here. It's a really good move by Murphy. He gets a sack. He gets help from the other side. And like I always said, this is the last play. We always like ended on a good play. Fortunately, 4th quarter, I like this play. We see him finally against the left tackle and catches left tackle leaning. And what does he do? It's not a good inside move on him. This is why when you look at offensive linemen, how many times does this happen? Typically, it should never happen because you should never be leaning for anyone. You know, keep your weight underneath you, run block with the weight underneath you, pass block with the weight underneath you. You know, when you start putting your weight out in front, this is just too easy. This isn't even, I mean, he created it because of his threat to the outside, but man, I could probably make this move. As long as you have a good idea of what to do if you see a guy leaning. Murphy does, and he takes full advantage of it and gets a nice tackle for a loss. One last time, watch it through. Nice and easy. So, that's Trent Murphy. Like I said, we didn't do too much of the negatives. Like, if you watch him, I'll repeat, sometimes it's just way too passive on watching the play, and I get really concerned about that. Overall, though, I see a lot of talent. I see a guy that, you know, maybe a little raw. And I've been hearing a little bit of how that's not the case, that there's a lot to like about him. I think CBS actually says he's a tweener. You know, not really sure where you're going to put him, whether it's defensive end or outside linebacker at 250. You know, that's a little light for us, a linebacker, but he's 6'5". I think that's something to grow into. I don't like the comparison to Jared Allen. Not really sure where that's coming from, because Jared Allen plays so aggressive He attacks line of scrimmage. He holds his own. I think Murphy, like, you get that passive play sometimes, and it just kind of makes you shake your head wondering why. Why is he attacking the outside edge so passively? Then you see that desperation spin moves. I don't want to see spin moves, man. Like, unless it's completely planned, where you're rushing the outside edge and then you plant and spin. I don't want it. Get it away from me. So I don't know if typically a 4-3, 3-4 where he's fitting. I have a hard time in 3-4 because his coverage skills are not there. And then, 250, but 6'5", he can grow into a little bit more. He's very lean. They can get some weight on him. NFL comparison, I hate doing X. Each person is their own individual. But I do think that he could very well be a 3-down player in the NFL. And that could be worth a second-round pick to me. The passive play, the spin moves and stuff, well, you live with that stuff. You can't really harp on it too much. I'm harping on it because we're just looking at him and trying to just figure out where he could, what he can do in the next level. So I do like a lot what he can offer for you. We'll see. I do think second round is a good spot for him. I can't see him lasting much longer in the third round, no. That's for sure. Too much talent. And, got a decent motor. Helps out a lot. Gets down the field. Gets to the quarterback. Just want to see more aggression from him at the next level. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I believe that our next one will be Marcus Smith from Louisville. I believe that's who I have next up. I don't want to make too many promises with that. Next one will be a blind look in, so I have no look at this. Marcus Smith is next. And so that's another tweener guy. So we're doing little tweeners here. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.